Let's get it. I'm just trying to get rich. I can't go where the paper don't flow. I can't hang if you ain't about the dough. Let's get rich. If you stagnant, not worry about no bread. Ain't no way that you could get ahead. I'm trying to get rich. Stacking paper.
Hey, you guys, welcome back to another episode of Pick a Struggle.
Welcome.
We are here live at Fishbowl Radio Network at, girl, where's we at? Yeah, what's the stadium called again?
Global Life.
Thank you, at Global Life Park, Studio C. That's the only thing I can remember. Yeah, it's too early for that. Let me get myself together. Right. Still trying to recover from yesterday.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
Yesterday we turned up. We had a good time. I think I was more turned up than anybody.
Right. I was sitting there just being quiet.
You were.
Because everybody... Okay, so this what happened. So, Lepre had invited me to...
The lake.
Thank you. What is wrong with me today?
I don't know. We got to get together.
All right, I need to start taking my vitamins. What is that lake called?
Lynn Creek.
Lynn Creek. That ain't what it's called. Joe Poo Lake.
It's Joe Poo Lake, but Lynn Creek is the side that we were on.
Oh, see, I never knew that.
Yeah.
I've been there for 20 years, didn't even know.
See? Got to get up on your lake.
Well, last time I went to Joe Poo Lake, it had to be at least 15 years ago, somewhere around there.
And I don't even know how long Lynn Creek side actually been a side.
Yeah.
I think it's more, you know.
You think it's like newer?
Yeah.
Because I remember when we went to the actual part where like the boats and the fish and stuff be at.
Right, yeah.
And the docks and all of that.
You're right, yeah.
But anyway, that's where we went yesterday. And, oh my God. So when I got there, as soon as I went through the gate, first I had to find the gate. Because the GPS took me to like the fire station or whatever.
Yeah.
That police station that's on the corner. That's where the GPS took me. So I was like, let me follow these other cars. 'Cause it was like 2 or 3 people in front of me.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, let me follow them. And then I end up getting to the gate. And as soon as I got in, I called the person. I was like, okay, where are you at? Because I don't know where to go. She was like, oh, just follow the road. And then it's like 2 different roads. Which
Go
way am I?
straight.
Yeah, she was like, go straight and just follow it around. And so I go straight and I'm following it around. And she said, we're somewhere in the back, not knowing the back of the first section.
Yeah.
Because there's like 3 or 4 other parts.
Uh-huh.
And so I drove around. I drove past y'all but didn't know it.
Uh-huh.
Because I was looking for your car but didn't see it on the first go around.
Uh-huh.
And then I ended up going where people park their boats at. I went to other, like 2 or 3 other parts of the creek or the lake or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, okay, let me go back to the gate and start all over again.
It's like a little mini maze.
Right. And then when I found them, end up going like a little bit too far, and you can't turn around because they got a whole bunch of one-way streets.
Yeah.
Or ways or whatever. So I had to go back around, and then I was like, okay, let me park right here. Mm-hmm. And it was actually nice outside yesterday.
It was.
Way better
sweating
than what it is today.
profusely.
Today is hotter than the jalapenos coochie outside.
Listen, it is hot. So, Nelly, that song "Hot in Her." That's
Right,
man.
no,
Listen,
it's getting hot out here.
It's getting hot out here. But you know,
And then I was mad because this morning when I woke up, my phone sent me a notification saying severe thunderstorm warning. I was like,
saw
where?
That too. I saw that last night. I was like, yes.
Where, in
I
Oklahoma?
ain't seen no thunderstorm, no storm, no thunder, no nothing.
All I saw was like a little bit of clouds, but that lasted like 15 minutes and they were gone.
All I seen was a dog pen. I ain't seen no kind of wetness outside. Hey, where's the thunderstorm? You're lying.
Right.
You're lying.
And so I get out the car and I'm meeting everybody. Didn't nobody introduce me.
Okay, so just a disclaimer: if you go to a black or African American function, ain't nobody gonna introduce you. You just walk up.
See, where I'm from, we always did
Okay.
that.
We don't.
We be like, hey, everybody, this is so and so, this is everybody.
We don't.
When I got to the folks' place, everybody was just like, hey.
Hey.
But I was like, okay, well, since ain't nobody gonna say nothing, I'm Dre.
I mean, everybody kind of know you anyway because
I didn't know that.
You know, the people that we worked with that were there know you.
Yeah.
And then my brother and them know you because of the show.
Oh,
so it's
okay.
like I felt like I didn't really have to introduce you. Now, if I had brought a complete stranger, I would have been like, hey, y'all. Like Brandon. Brandon was a stranger to me.
Who's Brandon?
My brother's friend.
The one
The guy with the guy that was talking to
the
us.
queen.
Yeah. So Brandon, I didn't know.
Okay.
So nobody knew him. So I was like, everybody, hey, it's Brandon. But for you, I was
which
like,
brother's friend? Which brother you talking about? The tall or the short one?
The taller one.
The tall one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
He's hilarious.
oh my gosh, I'm so sick of hearing that. Everybody's like, your brother's so funny.
Right.
I'm
and,
like,
and now I see why Brandon is friends with, because Brandon was just as crazy.
yeah, Brandon has no filter. I've seen that.
And people were like, like when people say that about me, I'm like, no, I know when to act.
Yeah.
And when not to. That's why when you were like, what's wrong with you? Because, okay, so when I got there, I introduced myself to everybody, but I was quiet most of the time. Mm-hmm. And LaPree was like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, girl, I'm just observing.
Yeah.
I'm getting to know everybody. I'm going
Right.
to listen to everybody else talking. Then once I get comfortable, then I might run my mouth.
Right.
But you don't want to just go in and just be like, ah.
Right.
Like, no, because you don't know your audience.
You got to find out where your boundaries are
Yeah,
at. I
right.
got you.
Okay, what can I say? What can I not say? Let me pay attention to what everybody doing. But I had to be quiet because everybody got a big mouth.
Everybody.
So somebody got to be quiet, and I paid tribute that day to be quiet because everybody, Brandon, your brothers,
Me.
yeah, and then they women, everybody, even the kids.
Yes.
I was like, oh my god, okay, everybody loud. Okay, we all can't be loud. Somebody gonna have to simmer it down.
Oh my goodness! But it was so much fun. And I'm glad that you were able to come
Yeah.
to see like my side of my world a little bit because it was so much fun. And I think for me, my family is like everybody's family. They
Yeah.
know I'm not gonna bring anybody around them
That ain't shit.
that I'm suspect with. It's a big deal for you to meet my family. So that's probably why they was like, hey, what's up? Come on in,
Right.
you know. So, but I had a good time. The kids had a blast. Dre was, he was a little quiet, but after a while he kind of opened up a little bit. But he didn't show who he really is, which I wanted everybody to see. I was waiting. That's why I was like, why are you so quiet? Because I really felt like you and Brandon would have been just killing it. And y'all, you didn't give me nothing. I was like, what's up?
Girl, it's a time and a place for everything.
I get it.
And so, like, I be away. Like, it's not me not being myself. It's just I know when to do it and where to do it.
Right, yeah.
And it's not that I'm not being myself. It's like, let me take this time to simmer it down and just observe everybody. Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But next time we go out, oh, yeah.
It's on.
It's on like hot butter popcorn.
Okay.
It's on like shaka corn.
Okay, so don't come up in our closed mouth because I'm going to be like, you remember, I'm playing it back for you. And look at this. With the popcorn. With butter.
Right. And then there was a lot of kids over there. You got to be careful sometimes.
Them kids is no limit soldiers.
I know, but I was just like your son, Duca.
Yeah.
Brianna and I was over there talking, her and her baby dad, or husband. I'm calling her husband because they got too many kids together already. They common-law married.
Right.
But when we was over there and Duke was over there standing, I'm like, the kids over there. Go over yonder. Don't we talk? Yeah. And he was like, "No, I'm going to stand right here." I was like, "No, you're not. You going to move over there."
Right. Go be
And
a
then
child.
right, and then I brought Jazz. Jazz had a blast.
I know you
'Cause
told me.
Soon as we got to the house, she had ate a little bit, and then she just flat out laid on the floor
Oh.
and was knocked out.
So I think Seven, in his mind, that's his girlfriend. I try to let him know that Jazz don't want him.
And that's how I end up getting Seven the first time. Okay, so when we was there, your daughter wanted to go to the lake, and we were quite a bit of ways away from the lake. Mm-hmm. And they was like, Dre, you come? I was like, this too virus. That's what Brandon was calling.
The virus out there.
Yeah, the virus is out there. So I was like, I ain't trying to get in that water with all the people over there, and I ain't trying to be over there with all them people.
Right.
So I'm just going to sit here in the shade
Right.
and be all right and have my little drink.
Right.
And so your daughter was like, well, can you watch Seven for me? I was like, all right, girl, but if he go running, I'm not chasing after him.
Right.
I'm not finna run. And that's exactly what happened. He got out of that harness and just started running. And then Kalila and your brother was like running after him.
Yeah.
My fat booger, I was like, I'm not finna run. I'm going to walk. I was like, come on, Jazz, let's go get him. Let's walk. And the next thing I know, here's Seven running towards me. He was like, oh, there's Jazz or somebody I know. Let me go run to her. But it was just so fun. I had a lot of fun.
I did too, and I'm so glad that everybody came. The turnout was exactly what I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was no drama. It was no fight. I mean,
No.
besides me just yelling at my little brothers because I always have to mother them no matter where we at. But besides
especially
that
the
little,
short one.
oh my
'Cause
god,
that short one was really showing his butt.
literally
I
showed
had to
his
turn
butt.
away. I was like, wait a minute, this is not what I signed up for.
My family has no filters, so if y'all don't know me personally, just
They don't
know,
care.
just know they don't care, and they're very much inappropriate at times. Like my brothers have asked me personal questions to the point where it made me embarrassed. Like,
Really?
should we talk about this? Like on some real stuff. So, you know, if you shy or you can't handle like awkwardness,
Yeah.
don't come around.
Yeah.
Don't come around.
And see, that's how my family is too. So we all are big mouth people.
Yeah.
But when I come around new people, I'm just like, okay, let me fill the room a little bit.
Right.
And then I'll say something.
Okay. Well,
But-
I'm glad you got a little taste of that.
Yeah. But we got some sad news.
Yes.
You want to take over?
Yes. So, a coworker of mine lost her child last Saturday on July 4th due to a drowning accident. She was at Lake Grapevine. She was with her older sister and her older sister's boyfriend. They were in the water, and from what I hear, the sister kind of lost track of her little sister. And when she looked back to kind of find her, she wasn't there. And then later they found out that she had drowned in the lake. But I do have some Zelle and Cash App information if you guys want to donate so that she can bury her child. She's going to have her funeral on July 30th. So if you guys want to help her out, because she is a single mom, she has, I don't know exactly how many kids she has, but I know she's a single mom, whether she has one or two. But anyway, if y'all want to donate to her, just look at the comment section, and I'll make sure that I put the information there.
Yeah. Do you have the information now so you can just say it now for the
I
ones who
do.
listening?
Yes, I do. So if you have Cash App, you can Cash App her at Sabrina. Well, her name is Angelica Selena. So if you want to Cash App her, you're gonna Cash App her at Sabrina Angelica with a $ before Sabrina. And then if you have a Zelle, which is I think Chase Bank, you can Zelle her at Sabrina Angelica at hotmail.com.
Can you do me a favor and spell the Cash App for me just in
Sure.
case?
It is a money sign, and then it's SABRINALETICIA.
All right.
So, guys, if you guys want to help out, and please, if you can, spare anything. A little bit goes a long way.
Right.
Even if you can only send love and light, please just do that.
Yeah. And that's so sad.
Yes, it
Ain't
is.
nothing like a mother losing a child. It's very sad.
It should never happen, but
No.
unfortunately.
Right. And we got more sad news. We're going to try to get through the sad news first and then go into something a whole lot lighter.
Okay.
So, there was a trans girl that was murdered in Dallas. It was early this month, or like in June or July, somewhere around there. She was murdered. She was shot, and recently they did arrest her murderer. And it was a guy that she apparently was dating or seeing at the time. And I didn't know this part of it was, I guess, I don't know what happened. Nobody knows, but somebody was telling it. And the trans girl, she was going to out the guy. And obviously he didn't like it and shot her while she was trying to run away. And then when she fell, he went up to a point blank range and shot her some more. And this is the problem that I have with black people as a whole. And I was saying this on Facebook, it's kind of hard to tell black people where to focus their energy, especially when we're basically trying to fight everything.
Right.
The systemic racism,
Blatant racism.
blatant racism, and the killings by police and harassment from fellow Americans.
Right.
It's kind of hard to tell them we need to kind of refocus, like all the energy that we have when we're fighting other people. We need to kind of internalize that.
Right.
We need to go inward
Right.
at first. because you can't say that Black Lives Matter, but all in the same breath, you're killing your own, no matter what the circumstance is.
Right.
So it's kind of hard to it's hard to make other people help you when you hurt yourself at the same time.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
So we can't tell the politicians and we can't tell white people how to treat us if we're treating our own in a disrespectful way or in a hurtful way. Right. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, absolutely. It's not. It can't be do as I say and not as I. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't tell me to do it this way, but you're showing me that you don't. Why should I care about your community?
Yeah.
Y'all lives if you don't even care
Right.
about your own community.
And
know?
that's what I've seen some white people say that, and it really wasn't like, if you're going off of emotions, yeah, it might seem disrespectful and it might seem dismissive, but it's the truth, and sometimes the truth can hurt.
Right.
You can't tell other people to stop killing you when you were killing yourself.
Right. And then I think that to go along with that is that some black people are okay with just being, I'm just going to jump on the bandwagon when it's convenient for me.
Yeah.
I don't feel like all black people are doing, well, the people who are doing the whole Black Lives Matter, who kind of protesting and pushing for Black Lives Matter, what are you doing besides marching?
Yeah.
Are you and people got their own thoughts about voting, but are you voting? Are you signing petitions? Are you doing everything that needs to be done to continue to spread the Black Lives Matter movement?
Right.
Or are you just watching on YouTube or
Right.
Facebook or
You just
whatever?
hashtagging it all day.
Right. So what are you really doing to make a change
Right.
or make a difference within the community?
And that's what I've heard some people say that, and I remember I was like, that totally makes sense. When you have to treat you, if you want your God, Michael Jackson said it, but if you want to make the world a better place,
Gotta
look at yourself and make a change. As long as when we teach our children, our cousins, or whatever, when we teach our home and our communities how to treat each other, then we can go out into the world and tell people how to treat us.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And that's basically like sweep your own porch before you sweep anybody else's. Mm-hmm. You can't tell people, I want you to do me this way, but then at the same time you doing other people like that. That's why I had said on Facebook, to me Black Lives Matter is a joke. Mm-hmm. If you telling white people we matter, but then when you go into your own community, you're discriminating other people who look like you,
Right.
just because of who they sleep with,
Right.
or because they made different decisions in life. Like that makes no sense at all.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't. It does not add up.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And I would never understand why people feel the need to do something like that to someone just because of that. I mean, and just kind of get away from Black Lives Matter just for a second. My mind can never be wrapped around how someone can hurt someone or hate someone simply by who they decide to love.
Right.
It just does not make sense to me. It will never make sense to me because it doesn't make sense.
Right.
And if you choose to be in an entanglement with someone that's of the same sex as yourself and you don't want nobody to know, then maybe you shouldn't be in that entanglement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe you should try to look at yourself and check yourself first.
Yeah.
Don't just go kill somebody.
Right. And now I'm not all for outing people.
Right.
At the same time, no one deserves to be murdered or killed just because they wanted to. Because it was a girl. It was last year. It was this black girl that she went to go get her phone or whatever. Like she went back to her homeboy's house or her boyfriend's house or some dude she was sleeping with. She left his house and went back. And when she went back, she saw him and his homeboy having sex.
Right.
And blasted them on Facebook or whatever. And then later on, she ended up getting shot in a drive-by. Mm-hmm. And come to find out, it was
him.
Yeah, it was the dude.
Right.
And it's like, like I'm not up for outing people, but no one deserves this kind of treatment.
Right.
Maybe if you be yourself,
then you wouldn't have to worry
right?
about
Be
it.
be truthful to yourself.
You wouldn't have to worry about somebody outing you.
Right.
I mean, because at the end of the day, it is 2020, and I'm going to continue to say, I said this in 2001, whatever year it is, it don't matter. Live your truth, live authentically.
Right.
If you live your truth and you step into your truth and you get into a truthful space, then you won't have to worry about
Right.
that. It'll just be your life, and people who love you will continue to love you, and people who don't will go on by the wayside.
Right.
But at least you are living your truth.
Right.
You ain't got to hide and be like, oh, I got to have a girlfriend so nobody will know my sexual orientation. And that's another thing. Stop leading people on. If you are going to be in the same sex relationship and you consider yourself gay or lesbian, be that.
Yeah.
Don't try to make yourself be bisexual or whatever so nobody will know what's going on with you.
Right.
And another thing, at the end of the day, it really ain't nobody's business who you sleeping with.
No.
Unless you
You
tell
trying
them.
to sleep them or unless you telling it, yeah.
So, I mean.
And then, like the queen said, don't let anybody spray you with your own tea.
Right.
Which means don't let other people tell your business. You tell it
Tell
first.
it first.
Right.
So you can tell it the right way.
Yeah, exactly.
Anybody else
or
don't
just
tell it.
Tell it the way you want to.
Yeah,
you say it first.
Yeah, right.
Just like with Jada.
Mm-hmm.
If she would have came out and told her own business first, we wouldn't be talking about it.
Right. We'd be like, well, then that's all, okay.
Right.
You know, that's what you want to
But
do.
the fact
that's
that
fine.
somebody else came out and sprayed you with your own tea, now everybody's talking about it. And then
Right.
somebody was getting on my, people get on my nerves. They like, oh, it's, COVID and all this stuff going on, and y'all worry about Will and Jada. First of all, we can walk and chew gum at the same time.
Right. We can worry about many things.
We could talk about Jada and Will and talk about Black Lives Matter and
ain't we
COVID
tired
and all
of
that.
talking about COVID? I
Child.
mean, damn. How much do we have to talk about COVID? We know it's out here. We know that you're supposed to do this and that and the third. Can we talk about something for a minute that ain't
Right.
related to COVID?
Right.
I like gossip every now and then.
And
I like a little
tell
juicy
people-
story.
Right. I tell people I like to be well versed.
Right.
I go into pop culture and history and different types of I like to know I like to know a spectrum of things.
Right. I get tired of my own business.
Right.
I want to hear somebody else.
And we wouldn't be talking about Jada if they weren't talking about it themselves.
Right, they
With that
wasn't
bootlegged ass red table talk. Man, when I watched it, I was so mad.
Oh my goodness.
I remember
And Will was really trying to look sad. I was like, Will, you not
Will,
sad.
Will is sad.
If he's sad, he's not sad about that. He said that August said something. He was like, you done messed up the whole code because now you feel
no, he's mad at Jada and Og. The way
About
he
what?
said it. First of all, Jada was the one who came out and said they will be in an open relationship.
She said we are in a life partnership. We don't have.
She was like, at the end of the
relations.
day, we're gonna be together. You could be on this side of the house with somebody else, and I'll be
Yeah.
on this side of the house with somebody else.
Right.
She said that,
Right.
and then all the August stuff had hit.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
it's
she
like
said that
that's what
years
he's,
ago, though.
huh?
She said that about a year or two when she first opened up the table.
Yeah.
The Red Table Talk. She said that when she had Will on.
Yeah, but it's a collective of things, and then the fact that people are going back and rewatching the Red Table Talk episodes, and then it was like, oh, now we see you like what you said back then is applying to what's going on now.
And if you guys remember that first time, well, this is the only time that August was on there, they didn't, we knew they were a couple. At least I did. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
look at her little boyfriend. You know what I mean? Like, I knew that they were a couple back then, and I had already heard the rumors. So when he was on Red Table Talk, I'm like, she gonna just have her little boyfriend on there before her husband, you know? But yeah, so
But that's what it. And I was watching, and then I was like, okay, y'all could talk to Snoop Dogg for like what 20, 30, 40 minutes, or talk to T.I. and his wife all that long ass time. But yeah, when it comes to you and your own business, it's like a 15-minute video.
But do they have to? I mean, because they really didn't have to say anything. Anyway.
They didn't have to, but it's one of those things where if you telling your business or you telling everybody else's business, you just can't hide what you doing and how you doing. Like that's like one of the problems I have, like with pastors in the church or whatever. Like you telling other people how to live their life, but yet you doing stuff behind the closet. You doing stuff behind the veil, and that's one of the problems that a lot of people are having with Jada Pinkett and this Red Table Talk is that you would sit there talking to other people, trying to heal other people and all this other stuff when you ain't even dealt with what you got.
What you dealing with, yeah.
Right.
And that's the one thing I did say.
right.
She ain't healed from her own stuff.
No. She's sitting there talking about how her grandmama or her mama or somebody was teaching her how to pleasure herself and she having orgasms 5 times a day. Like that stuff.
She said she had a sexual addiction.
Yeah. But it's like you hitting on that But yeah, when it comes to other people and their own other business, and that was another problem with people had with Wendy Williams. You sitting here making a living off of telling other people's business, getting into other people's business. But yeah, when it comes to you, you don't want to talk about it.
Right.
It's very hypocritical.
Yeah, it is. But at the same time, when it comes to people's own business, they know it's gonna get talked about anyway, so they don't really have to address it. Like when Wendy Williams was doing crack and she fell out in the middle. Well, she's always said that she had a drug problem.
Yeah.
And then she said she recovered. And then 2 or 3 years ago when she fell out on the stage,
Yeah.
and she was dressed as
Yeah.
the American
The Statue of Liberty, yeah.
She didn't have to come back and say anything about that. She could have just acted like that didn't happen. I respect the fact that they even address it, because honestly, I just said what he said, and we could take that for what we want to take it for.
Yeah.
But she didn't have to come in. She didn't even have to open that up. She could have been like, well, he already told everybody, so.
But she didn't even tell anything. Well, she told a little bit, but she really wasn't, like, she was getting into stuff. She didn't get into it deep enough that I would have felt to satisfy the crowd of people you're trying to talk to.
Right.
And the fact that you didn't even address the fact that you call yourself looking for a good time, but yet the dude you was having a good time with was looking for some healing and some help. And then you didn't even address the fact that you are a borderline predator.
Yeah.
The fact that you were only looking for a good time, but yet he's looking for somebody to heal with.
And you looking for a good time with somebody that you
Right.
can manipulate and break.
Yeah.
Or that was already broken. And
Yeah.
that's what we was talking about last week. And that's what kind of made me mad about the situation, is because I'm not going to have a young person come to me and say, this is what happened to me. I have mommy issues. I have drug issues. I'm sick. And then I just go jump into bed with them. That's not helping them.
Right.
That's adding to that
To the hurt,
brokenness. Yeah, that hurt.
And then a lot of people don't know when you are broken and then you look for someone to help you and they so-called help you, you can find yourself liking them or falling in love with them.
Yeah,
because they're doing something that nobody else has done.
Right.
So that's why I kind of feel a little bit bad for August Alsina, because this is what he was looking for and this is what he got. And then it's very common that people be wanting to have relationships with their therapists and all this other stuff.
Because it feels good.
Yeah, because it's like, you helped me, so
Let's be in a relationship.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Let me express my gratitude by a physical connection. And the thing about it is that
But Jada's like, I'm looking for a good time.
Right, and August was never going to find someone that could help him, because and this is a little bit deeper than I wanted to go, but he was looking outside of himself. So everything that he was going to attract to himself was going to be messed up.
Right.
It was going to be broken too, because he broken, and you get what you are. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you put out there, you get that back.
Yeah.
So by Jada coming into his life and doing what they did, and she using her physicalness to quote unquote heal him, that's exactly what he was gonna get.
Yeah.
Because he looking outside of himself, you know what I mean? And Jada too. And she was like, I just wanted to feel good again. I just wanted to feel love. Me and Will going through this and going through that.
Right.
Well, you wasn't gonna feel that from nobody else.
And Will had me down. He was like, I was done with your ass.
I was gonna. And then you heard him at the end. He was like, I'm getting you back.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm getting you back.
And then Jada was like, well, you got me back several times.
He was like, nah. You thought, because I'm getting you
thought
back.
It was bad then.
Because I'm jumping on the first thing walk past my nose.
Right.
I'm getting her or him, whatever floats his boat.
And I was telling you, that was the difference between Will and Jada. Like, we can speculate what Will was doing, but nobody has came out and said anything about it.
Right.
And then the people or the women that we were so-called tying them to,
right, it
wasn't like underage, broken people.
Yeah.
Or people who was just so young.
Because men don't need, I ain't gonna say men because August is clearly, but he light skinned, so he can't be in the I don't know if we can put him in that category. That's
what?
With men.
Men who are light skinned? What?
No, I'm just saying he a man. I mean, I'm trying to talk about men, but he light skinned, so they kind of take him down.
Well, you so stupid.
I'm just playing. No, I was just playing because I got light skinned children. Anyway, men who are just usually like I guess not broken or who are good or whatever, they usually don't do that. They usually kind of just keep the stuff to themselves. That's why it surprised me that he is the one that said, "Hey, you know, I that was my girl, and you know, we was doing this," because it's usually the woman who comes out and says, you know what I mean? It's usually not the man who kiss and tell.
Yeah.
So either he has a lot of femininity within him, or he just vice skinned.
I think this is the part of his healing, and this is what I would say about one of the problems I have with one out of the many problems I have with the black community was that men are not comfortable. Straight black men are not comfortable with expressing themselves. And then they ball it all up, and the next thing you know, they dying of heart attacks at the age of 50, 60 years old.
Yeah. They can't, they're not allowed to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to express themselves.
Because the community and the women are like, you need to be strong, you need to be this, and you need to be that. But it's like, that's what's kind of killing them.
But we never said that. We never said that.
Who?
It's I don't think anybody in our community said that. I think that was outside stuff. We just were told that they supposed to be this, they supposed to be that.
Yeah.
I don't think that we said that.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think that. I never once told my son that he couldn't cry.
Yeah.
I never once told my ex-husband that he couldn't cry or he couldn't be vulnerable.
I'm just talking about as a whole.
As a whole, I really don't feel like that. I feel like it was
but girl, you're not a man.
I feel like it was an image portrayed and pushed up on our men that to be strong. I don't think that our own community said it's not okay.
Well, see, with me as a boy growing up in the black community, I was told boys do this and girls do that. So you know,
really,
you know, if you cry, I'm gonna give you something to cry about.
Girls are told that too.
You don't act this way. You don't do that. Only when I would have like intimate conversations with my dad, and my dad was like a little bit lax. Like he didn't show a lot of emotions. Only when it was just between me, my brother, and him. Mm-hmm. That's when we would sit there and have like a man conversation. And he'll be he'd be like, you know, I've went through this, and he'll be crying, and he was like, I don't want y'all to go through that. Like that was only when, but as like the community as a whole, it was like, boys don't cry. If you fall, you know, just get up and just walk it off. You'll be all right.
Right.
That's what I was told. And so I can only imagine what it was for like older men who had families and stuff where you're told you're the one who provides. You're the one who holds all your stuff in.
You're the man of the house.
That movie with Denzel and Viola Davis, Fences.
I never seen it.
You never seen that movie? Mm-mm. Great freaking movie. You have to watch it.
I'll watch it tonight.
But I'm going to tell you this part. It was a climax part where, because Denzel had a problem with his son. And Denzel was telling his son what he went through as a child, which was like the abuse his father had gave to him. Mm-hmm. And he was like, and I had to hold that in and just move on. Mm-hmm. So, and it speaks, and it was, I think the play is like, or the movie, well, it was a play at first, but it takes place like in the 60s or 70s. Mm-hmm. And that was where that toxic masculinity kind of started.
Wow. Like around that time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Where like men do this and, you know, don't be soft.
Right.
Don't be no little bit.
Right. And do you think that comes from them feeling like if they wouldn't be able to be masculine and vulnerable at the same time? Yeah. What I mean, I'm asking you, like, what do you think that why do you think that's a thing? Why do you think people think he can't be a man and cry at the same time? Like,
I don't know.
How did that equate to, you know what I mean?
I have no idea.
Because it don't make sense to me.
Yeah, it don't, but it's still, slavery didn't make no damn sense, but it was still there.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it's a lot of stuff that we do as humans that is like, okay, we doing this? This ain't making any sense.
And I feel
but
like
yet
it's
we
backwards.
still doing it.
I feel like it's really backwards. Anyway.
Just like how some women feel like they're not women if they don't have a child naturally.
Right.
Like, oh, you didn't give birth, or you adopted that one, or
you
had a C-section. Yeah.
And I've had someone to say that to me, and it hurt my feelings because I have 4 kids.
But now you see what I'm talking about.
And I do, but it's a different. I think of it in a different way, but. Because when we talk about that, I'm thinking about roles, like gender roles. Like,
but that's what it is.
You got to be hard, and you got to, you know what I'm saying? But Yeah, I've had somebody say, "Oh, you had C-section? Oh,
Yeah.
you ain't no real woman."
Right.
And I'm like, first of
Or
all,
like women who are barren, it was like, oh, you're not a woman. Oh, because I didn't hear plenty of people, or even with me, as a dude, they'd be like, I have women tell me, oh, you ain't got no kids, so you don't understand.
right?
It's like, no, but I've been a child before, so I can.
And I've been
I
around
can-
children.
Yeah, so I can give you like a little hint to what's happening, but yeah, people they feel like you less than, or especially when I came out as gay, they were like, oh, you're not a man because you're not out there screwing women and having kids.
And some of the best men I know are gay.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that because I know some men that are not gay, and I'd rather be around the gay guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The only reason I need the other guys for
Procreation
a couple
period.
times today a night. But like some of the most masculine, confident. And I told you this about yourself the other day.
Yeah.
Confidence, aware, centered men that I know are gay men. And that's probably why all of my friends, but besides 2 or 3, are gay men because they are more well-rounded. And now I don't know what's going on. They project that. Now I don't know what's going on internally, but what they project outside is a confident. Just like you, I say, if you not confident, then you fucking acting. Excuse me. You acting really well. You need to be in Hollywood because I get confidence from you.
Yeah.
The utmost confidence. Like you ain't scared of nothing. You ain't scared of nobody. You know what I mean? And you know who you are. So that's why I don't understand the whole you less than a man because you gay. That don't make sense to me.
It's ignorance, just pure ignorance.
Y'all know men better than anybody else.
And I remember I heard I think it was Dia Hughley. It was some man I heard it was like if you can take a peen, you got to be the strongest man I've ever seen him in.
Strong. Strong. I'm talking about strong. Got the strength. The strength.
Oh my You was stupid. I just got all the what you talking about.
No, strong.
Right. Use all your strength.
Yeah,
and I tried to. The funny you say that, I try to tell people that, just to be yourself when nobody else is on your side, nobody else likes you, nobody else wants to deal with you, and regardless of what is happening outside of you, you still want to be yourself. You have got to be the strongest person. And I try to tell people all the time, like, I didn't choose this life. I was just like when you play poker. You don't choose the cards you get in poker. You get something that you dealt. Yeah. Unfortunately, I was dealt with being gay and being fat.
and black.
Right, and black.
Right.
So I was like, these are the cards that I was dealt, and I'm rolling with the punches.
And you're going to play the hell out of them.
Girl,
I got you.
Right, having a poker face like a mug.
Right. You don't know what's going on behind me. You thought you knew. You don't know.
Because I'm going to pretend I got 2 aces in my hand.
Right. And it intimidates other people, and you don't even realize that you do that.
Yeah.
Or maybe you do.
A lot of people have said that to me.
Yeah.
They was like, you're very intimidating and overbearing and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, I'm just being me. I don't know what it is. And they was like, well, you a little bit too much. I'm going to need you to tone it down. I was like, well, I don't know what you want from me.
And don't ever do it.
Yeah.
Don't ever do that.
Because and then I tell people all the time, like, it took me years to actually, like myself. I'd be damned if I spend any more time trying to get other people to like me. And that's why I'm trying to get, like, black dudes to know. Like, black dudes who are into transsexuals or who are into other men. Like, dude, just be yourself. Of course, life isn't given to the swift and the strong. It's given to the ones who endure to the end. So if you... Of course, it's going to be a little bit difficult because that ain't what life ain't supposed to be easy breezy, lemon squeezy.
Right.
That ain't what life's supposed to be. So if you just be yourself, of course, it's going to be a little bit difficult at the beginning. But once you get over that rough patch, it's going to be just good. And that's how I was when I came out, when I was a teenager. It took me like a few years to be like, okay, I'm just going to have to deal with it. And then after I got over that, I was laying in the shade, just being cool, calm, and collected about everything else.
And life will be a lot easier. Stuff won't be so stressful.
Right.
Stuff won't be so hard if you live in your truth. And not even talking about just, your sexuality. Just anything. Don't worry about. Don't live your life trying to feel somebody else's opinion about you. You know what I mean? If you in a relationship and this person in this relationship with you does not like this about you, I don't ever want to be in a relationship where I feel like I have to change the person that I'm in a relationship with.
Right.
If I feel like I got to do all that, then I might not need to be in that relationship.
Nope.
Even my kids always ask me, "Mommy, what should I do?" Do what makes you happy.
Exactly. As long as you ain't hurt nobody.
As long as you're not hurting nobody. Because at the end of the day, mommy is not living your life. You living your own life.
Right.
So you can ask my opinion, but do not take my opinion and feel like that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
If you say you like the color red and I said I like purple, get the red one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't get purple because you think mommy gonna like
Don't
that.
try to mix the blue with the red trying to get it. No,
yeah,
just
get what you like.
Yeah.
Get what you want. And I feel like that across the board. Sexuality on to anything else.
Right. But since we, oh my goodness, I didn't realize this is going to be like a spiritual healing kind of episode. But since we on the verge, we doing it now. So let's go and get into our sponsor that we have for today. So, if you guys can do me a favor, please check out Sage and Things. They're located in Arlington, and they are Black-owned. They sell sage that you can burn throughout your home, which is linked to putting people in a positive mood. So you have bad energy in your house, please burn some sage. Just go pick up some grass out the road, or just go do something.
That ain't gonna do
nothing. And then they also sell smudging kits, which is the whole spiritual cleansing package. In the kits, they have crystals, Florida water, abalone shells, and all that jazz. Last but not least, they have candles, dragon blood, which is for meditation and aromatherapy, and yoni steam for the women who want to balance their pH balance, and help with their cramps and all that stuff. So call the number 817-664-8447 or check them out on Facebook under Sage and Things Flipperoni and let them know that Dre and LaPree from Pick a Struggle sent you. And we're also looking for other sponsors.
So if y'all got something, let us know.
Right. If you ever want to advertise your business or your music, please email us at pickastruggle@yahoo.com. That's PICKASTRUGGLE@yahoo.com. Ever since we started this show 4 months ago, we've been tracking our audience and the numbers and all that other stuff. We average about 20,000 listeners a show from a wide range of ages and in several countries. United States, Mexico, South Africa, Ireland, India, and the United Kingdom. We are available on buku of platforms. We are on FBRN.US, that's Fishbowl Radio Network.us, and we're on YouTube. We're on the Anchor Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, green beans, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, all of that.
You name it.
Right. If you ever want us to advertise your business or your music, please email us at pickastruggle@yahoo.com.
And ladies, real quick, ladies and men, about the Sage and Things, please give that a try. Even if you consider yourself more religious than spiritual, meditation by itself, it does wonders. You take some of that Florida water, you get you a bubble bath, you pour that Florida water in that bubble bath, you light your candles, you light your sage. Now, like I told y'all last week, if you pass out, that means you the bad energy. So don't get mad at the sage. You ain't allergic to it.
Right.
It means it's you. Go within. But get that stuff, guys. Get that stuff. It really helps. It really works. I have been saging and meditating and burning my candles for about 2 years now. And
everything's been going good.
It has completely changed my life.
Yeah.
And I'm not lying.
LaPree don't never come on the show with a struggle.
I really don't.
No. Every week I ask, I'm like, hey, what you doing? Oh, nothing. Just working and just living my life.
And he's not lying, y'all. I literally don't. And if I do have a struggle, I don't entertain struggles. No. So they don't become struggles for me.
Yeah.
As soon as I see that it's not something that's my energy is, is feeling some type of negative towards it, I let it go. Whether it's a person, a situation, whatever it may be.
A gas.
I let it go.
Yes.
I let it go. And gas tube. He's fine. That's who eat them beans. But yeah, he telling the truth. I don't ever have a struggle.
Yeah.
And people be like, yo, life is so chill. I'm like, it's very boring, but I like it like this. And that's only because I cleared up my energy through smudging and different stuff.
Yeah,
so.
and sage and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it does help. And
It
then
really
the mind also helps too.
Yeah, because where the mind
get-
goes, the body follow.
And then what Salt and Pepper say?
I don't know. She said, let's talk about sex.
Free your mind.
Oh, that was In Vogue.
Oh, that was In Vogue?
Yeah.
Ooh, take away my black card. Take away. Please revoke it temporarily.
Free your mind and the
Rest
rest
will
will
follow.
follow. Yeah, that's In Vogue.
Be colorblind.
Don't be so shallow.
Amen. But, oh my goodness. What else can we get into? Because we only got like a few minutes
We only
left.
got like 7 minutes by now.
Right. Okay, well, let's talk about Terry Crews, Goofy South. Since we got a little bit of time. We're going to spend the rest of the time talking about Terry. I feel so sorry for Terry. Well, I feel sorry for him, but then I just want him just to shut up. Not saying that what he has to say has any value to it. I just want him to just shut up.
He got no value to it.
So recently Terry Crews had put out a tweet or Instagram or Snapchat or wherever it was. He had said, let's make sure that we don't morph Black Lives Matter into Black Lives Better. So let's not. What I took from it, just reading it, was let's not be prejudiced in the midst of us trying to seek equality.
Right.
That's what I took from it.
And
What'd you take from it? What you get?
I didn't even hear it. This is the first time me hearing it. But from what you're saying, I can see where he's going with it.
Yeah, and he went on a couple of platforms. Oh my God, he went on a few platforms to be like, I never faced racism or prejudice, so I can't say this, but this is what I'm saying. If you ain't never been through it, then I'm gonna need you not to say nothing.
Right.
Same with Morgan Freeman and all those other people. Just because you hadn't experienced, that's why I never downplay. That's one thing you do not want to do. Just because you ain't been through it don't mean you can downplay somebody else's experience. Like that whole Me Too thing.
Right.
I ain't never experienced a Me Too movement, me personally.
Right.
But I ain't gonna downplay some women saying I was taken advantage of.
Right.
So I will speak up for them.
Right.
And so but even though what Terry Crews had to say, it carries just a little bit of weight, a tinge bit of weight. I am not looking up to celebrities, musicians, artists, rich people, politicians. I am not looking up to those people to describe or to explain struggles of a regular person.
Right.
Even if I was at the bottom of a whale, I still won't look up to these girls.
Right. Because their experiences are not the same.
Totally different.
And even if they had those experiences in the past, they don't have them right now.
Yeah.
And money put blindfolders on you.
Girl.
And as soon as you get that money in your hand, you forget about whatever happened prior.
Doing the Bird Box challenge.
You be like, oh, well, I used to be poor. I used to live in a
Right. And that's why a lot of people do like people like Bernie Mac or D.L. Hughley or Tiffany Haddish or like a good chunk of black people. They relate to them,
right? Because
you went through the same stuff that I went through,
right?
But if you just going on TV and saying, "Well, I ain't never experienced it, but this is what black people need to do," okay, but I'm gonna need you not to speak on it.
And I'm sure ain't no way in the world Terry Crews has not ever experienced.
That's what
racism.
He said.
I know
that.
he's saying that, but out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah,
he probably done changed it in his thought process so that he can be okay when he around white people.
Well,
because it's some stuff that I've experienced, and I can tell you for right now that I try to change it in my head so I won't spaz. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
So I've experienced it, but I put it in the back.
These were his words. He said, I've never experienced racism from white people or prejudice. Never experienced that from white people. What I did experience was being scared, walking to school, and having to deal with thugs and gangs and drug dealers who were black in my community. That's what he said.
But what people need to understand is that Black Lives Matter movement, like we were talking about earlier, is not just for white people. We're talking, the people who are a part of that movement are not just talking to white people. We're talking to other blacks. We're talking to Asians. We talking to Latinos.
Right.
We talking to whoever feel like our lives don't matter. That's who we are gearing it to. And that's the reason why I think a lot of people think, oh, I don't want to be a part of this movement. I ain't never had no racism for nobody white. We're not just talking to white people. We're talking to everybody.
Yeah, we're not
everybody
referencing.
who don't realize that our lives matter.
And it's even with black people.
Even black
you
people.
got to tell black people our lives matter.
Right.
Don't kill me.
Right. Hey.
Don't shoot me just because I got on a better pair of sneakers that you got.
Or a certain color. I don't even know if they still doing all that gangbanging, but a certain color or a certain neighborhood or this
I
or that.
wondered about that.
Are they still gangbanging?
Is it still like Bloods and Crips and stuff? I don't
know.
Just child in Arlington. Oh my God! I remember when I had moved to Arlington, they was like Arlington's together. I was like, girl, where? Because I
One street.
Because I ain't never experienced like Bloods and Crips kind of thing. Only when I was in Arkansas, which is where I'm from.
Right, and
that's
the
only when
capital of the world.
Right.
It used to be.
Shut up. But when I moved to Texas, I didn't see any of that.
Yeah.
And even though I saw it here and didn't see it there, I would never negate the experiences other people have who stayed in Little Rock.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, well, I see something that's different, so I would never negate the people who stayed in the community. I would never negate the experience because it's stupid.
Yeah.
It's ignorant. It's like telling a rape victim.
Well, you wanted it.
You
had them little shorts on.
Well, yeah. What was you wearing?
Right.
Or what did you do to him?
What you do to him?
It's
you gave him a kiss?
Right.
Oh, girl, you asking for it.
Right. You accepted a drink when he bought it at the bar. Oh,
you said yeah that one time, and then the next time you try to say no,
right?
You tripping.
Right. Okay, but see, that's what we tell other people. But black community, I'm letting y'all know, you can't do stuff to your own people and then tell other people how to treat you. That goes it's circling back around to that.
Yeah, it's counterproductive, y'all.
Yeah. So, but Terry, this I don't like celebrities talking about social issues. I just don't like it. Yeah. Like this is why I really do love and adore Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
Because she's like, don't ask me about nothing political. Don't ask me nothing about social stuff. Don't ask me that because I just want to get up in front of a crowd, sing and act, do what I do, and go home. Mm-hmm. Don't ask me about nothing else.
I just want my red lips,
because from what I'm deducing is her experience is different from other people. Mm-hmm. And that's the same with black celebrities. If you ain't never experienced it, I don't want to hear about that's why Bernie Mac, the short-lived career that he had was so important, and it impacted a lot of people because when he did his comedy, it was about stuff that everybody knew. Yeah. Your sister being on crack, right? You got to take care of her kids, that kind of stuff.
Relate to
everybody. That's why Def Comedy Jam was just off the chain because you pulling regular people off the street, right? That's went through regular stuff and they ain't made it yet. They ain't got millions of dollars and all this stuff, and they're making comedy based on what regular people are experiencing. And that's why it was just so cool. But when you get these people who got $1 million companies, they worth such as hundred thousands of dollars.
They so far detached from what's really going on in the world. Right. They can't relate. Right. So in his mind, like I said, he's never experienced racism. But he said, "Oh, I only experienced racism from. I'm not racist. I only experienced this from black people." Yeah. He's experienced racism. He just detached from it. Right. Because that money talk.
Right, and then a lot of people don't know black people's prejudice or racism is based off of what happened to them before. But that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother time.
I know, a whole nother time.
I did not want this episode to be so political and so spiritual and so social, but it is what it is. It just happens. Yeah. We just got cliff notes, and then we just go off of that, and then we just keep going and keep talking. Yeah. But that's it for us today. I want to say thank you to David.
David's awesome.
Right.
Y'all.
Check your show out. What's your name of your show, David?
Young Fiends on Saturday, 7 to 8 p.m. FBRN.us.
Yeah, check his show out because East School people, I like him.
Yeah,
We
I
have
like
to
his
keep
vibe.
you.
He got a good vibe.
We're gonna have to adopt you or something.
Right.
You gonna have to be here.
He gonna be our stepchild.
Right. He gonna be our redheaded stepchild. Right. But
We not
thank
gonna
you.
beat him though.
Right. But thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for watching. We'll catch y'all next week at 5 p.m. And that's it. Let's go.
Y'all have a good weekend. A good week.
Right. Yeah. Because today's Sunday.
Today is Sunday.
Right. Yeah. Right. Hallelujah. Let's go. Let's get up out of here.
All right. Peace.
Let's get it.